Welcome back to the Weekly Huddle podcast. I'm your host, Owen, and today we will be reviewing all of the Week 2 games, picking out different storylines from each game that I like to focus on, and then going into Week 3 and picking against the spread, so that way this episode is going to come out Thursday morning, and I'm not going to film half of it while I'm at work because I was a busy boy that day. I'm going to film this one super late at night on Wednesday, so I won't have to have really shit audio quality. Let's just get right into the games because I really just want to start talking about these different storylines, and I'm going to say different storylines that most of the popular people are popular media coverage is covering. So these are just the ones that interest me and that I think will play bigger roles going into the rest of the season. Washington 30, the Giants 29, mostly because the Giants special teams are total ass. Trevor Lawrence, overall good player, really just blew it at the end of this game. My biggest takeaway from this game is that I think Washington didn't even really lose that much of a step when they lost Fitzpatrick. Like, I can't see the Washington football team's offense being much better with Fitzpatrick than it is right now. But even bigger than that is what happened to Washington's defense. The Giants put up 29 on them, and it should have been even more. There was a drop touchdown and a callback touchdown on a bullshit hold because it was ticky-tack, if anything. So there should have been at least, so I think both of those went for field goals, so add another 8 points onto that for 14. So this should have been 37-30. And, I mean, it's not even, it would be 37-27, and they would have to score a touchdown. It wouldn't have been close in the end. They would have been up 10 points because they fucking just blew them out. If those two things were touchdowns. What happened to Washington's defense? This was a team with a terrible offensive line with Danny Dimes at quarterback, and Saquon, who's still hobbled from his knee injury that he's still recovering from. How did Washington barely squeak this one out? I think that their defense took a step back, and like I said, I don't think their offense is going to be much better than it is right now. I can't see it being any better than it is right now without major changes. So they need to hang their head on defense, and their defense has struggled throughout the first 2 weeks. They lost to the Chargers and were terrible on third down, and now they're giving up near 30 points, should have been near 40 points to the New York Giants. That's just sad. Next up, Patriots at Jets. We all knew this one was going to be kind of rough. The Patriots are notoriously good against rookie quarterbacks, especially Belichick specifically is good against rookie quarterbacks. But I mean, like, I know Zach Wilson threw 4 interceptions, but they give him no help. There was no separation. There was no blocking. They really need Mekhi Becton back, and I don't know what's worse on this Jets team, the cornerbacks or the offensive line. And we thought the offensive line would be better. Like, I think Zach Wilson is doomed to repeat the failures of Sam Darnold. Even though I like this coach better than both of them put together, what Sam Darnold had. Todd Bowles as head coach didn't work out. Adam Gase, let's not talk about that. But like, I just think it's an organizational thing. I don't know if the GM is gonna be able to surround Zach Wilson with good enough players. It's just, I think just the stench of the Jets is gonna ruin Zach Wilson the same way Sam Darnold was, and then he's gonna have the same thing with Sam Darnold, where he's gonna go to a different place and he's gonna become a better player than he was at the Jets. It's just the Jets are the Jets. The Jets will always Jets, and this is why they're my least favorite team in the league. Entire league. I hate them the most. Because not only are they a division foe of my favorite team, but they get so much media coverage because they're in New York and, well, New Jersey. New York with parentheses, or quotation marks. And they could do this and that. I remember when they signed CJ Mosley and all that, they were getting talked about as division winner potentially, and this and that, just because they're from New York. And it's just like, no, they're always bad. They always will be bad. It's the Jets. The Jets is the Jets. Even with the Sanchez, when they made it to AFC Championship games, they weren't even that great. They kind of fluked their way there. Like, I don't like them. And this kind of made me happy on my cold soul. Broncos 2-0. Jaguars 0-2, 23-13. I think I was debating. I was gonna do a top 10 power rankings thing, kind of like I did last year before the season started, but I never ended up getting around to it. I got really busy and couldn't really go about making all the graphics I wanted to for it. But I had thought about having the Broncos like top 10 just because their roster was so amazing, and I wasn't going to dock them because of their quarterback play. I thought that from Drew Lock or Teddy Bridgewater, they'd find a serviceable quarterback. They have one of the best defenses, a really good offensive line, and amazing skill positions. all their biggest needs are quarterback and then like a second linebacker. So like they don't really, and now especially that because Joey Joel is out, but like the Broncos were a top 5 roster in the NFL. They just needed a quarterback that would come in and help them win. And Teddy Bridgewater's playing the kind of ball they need to win. He's playing Peyton Manning ball, where he just doesn't. He does just enough to give the defense some rest and put up some points, and let the defense just carry them to win. The Broncos need to score like anywhere between 17 and 24 points a game, and the defense will take care of the rest of it. And that's exactly what happened here, 23-13. Trevor Lawrence, I'm not going to panic too much on him. It's Urban Meyer. I wasn't that big of a hopeful for Urban Meyer in the NFL anyway. And he's just being thrown out there, and it's like, hey, go throw all you want. They're basically just letting him test the waters. Like, hey, this is a rookie season. We know we're going to be bad, so just go out there and throw the ball how you want to, and then we'll learn from experience. Just go see what you can and can't get away with at this level. And then once we build up the team around you, then you know what you can and can't be doing in the games. Learn from experience, learn from your mistakes, start improving like that. My pleasurable game of the week, 35-0 Bills over Dolphins. Tua got hurt. I doubt the offense would have been that much better with Tua in than Jacoby Brissett. I'm a big Jacoby Brissett fan. Tua, I'm not the biggest Tua fan, and I just think that the Dolphins were outmatched this day, and the Bills are just down over the Dolphins anyway. I didn't think maybe it would have been like the Dolphins had like a touchdown or two, but it still would have been over 15-point difference. But my biggest storyline I want to talk about obviously has to do with my favorite team, the Buffalo Bills. I need all of y'all that are coming at the Bills and Josh Allen to calm down, okay? I know weeks 1 and weeks 2, not the MVP numbers we were thinking he was going to have. But let me tell you something. He had to go against the Steelers, a consistently great defense that is good early in the season all the time. Great coach defense, great coach team, especially early in the season. They had to go against the Dolphins with the 2 highest paid cornerbacks in the league on their team, and they played lights out. The Dolphins' corners and secondary in general were amazing, and it was raining. And then next week, he has to go to Washington, or it's home against Washington. So he might not have those great numbers like he did the first quarter of last season. But let me tell you, there is a stretch of games. I'm going to pull it up just so that way I have the exact schedule, back-to-back games that I'm going to be talking about. So we got Washington at home, and then listen to this stretch of games. You think that he's going to have, he's rough right now, and he might not be able to put up numbers near what he did last year. So we had the Dolphins, Washington. We just talked about how their defense has been struggling and not living up to their standards. But, I mean, we'll see. We'll see. I'm not going to put it past him to be good. So I'm going to take that as another week where he's not going to do super well. But then he has the Texans at home, who the Texans, they're better than most people thought. They're playing as a team, but, they're just outmatched talent-wise. And that was shown against the Browns, and this team, the Bills, are better throwing the ball than the Browns are. I'm expecting Allen to have a big game there. The Chiefs are third in the league right now, letting up 10.4 yards per attempt. So, yes, the Chiefs' biggest weakness is if you can run the ball, which the Bills have been doing better with this season. So far, they've been running the ball way better. Devin Singletary, 6.4 yards per attempt, or yards per rush. But the Chiefs are letting up 10.4 yards per passing attempt, third worst in the league. So he's primed to have another big game there in this prime time, right? They need to get that boogeyman off their shoulder. The Chiefs are going to come in, and then the Bills are going to come in, and they need to get the win there, and Josh Allen needs to have a big game, which that Chiefs secondary, especially Tyrann Mathieu, continues to be banged up, could potentially lead way to him having a big game. Then they're at the Titans. Titans' pass defense is fucking awful. That was said that against the Cardinals. And against the Seahawks as well, even though they won that game, the Seahawks they let up all the passing yards in the world. So Allen's gonna have Texans, Chiefs, Titans back to back. I could reasonably see him averaging 375 yards a game and 2.5 touchdowns a game, passing. I'm not even gonna count rushing. Then bye week, Dolphins on Halloween. Like I said, Dolphins are pretty good, but defensively, but the Bills usually own them. Then you got Jaguars, Jets. Those defenses he's going to burn through. Colts, Saints, I'll give him that. Patriots, I'll give him that. Bucks, I'll give him that. Panthers have been a good defense. Patriots, but then Falcons, Jets again. So half of these games are against tough defenses, and once they get later in the season, they're clicking more. I'm not going to be too worried about it. So that was my tirade about Josh Allen and his numbers. Just you wait. There's going to be 2 big stretches in the season where he's going to be, or 2 or 3 big stretches in the season where he's going to face god-awful defenses, and he's going to boost those numbers a little bit. Don't worry about it. 49ers at Eagles. 49ers win 17-11. Everyone is overreacting to the 49ers right now. I see people having them in the top 5 over the Bills, over the Cardinals, stuff like that. No. Relax, calm. How are we going to jump them up from like 13 to like 4? Like I was a big fan of the 49ers too because of their coaching and that they were a Super Bowl roster, but let's pump the brakes a little bit. Eagles are not that good. They beat just a worse Falcons team. And the 49ers with Jimmy G, limited. And they didn't even beat the Eagles by that much in this game. They did enough to win, but I want everyone to pump the brakes on the 49ers just for another week or two. Let them beat the Packers this week, and then we'll talk. But right now, no. My pick for the Super Bowl champions, the LA Rams, win 27-24 over the Colts. Colts are a tough out. I'm not surprised this game was this close. I was high on the Colts going into the season. Colts were a tough out. The Rams had to go to the Colts. They had to travel to the East Coast. And yeah, I wasn't surprised. They're a good team, East Coast. Colts had a good offensive line to match up with the Rams' defensive line. I'd just say this is going to be one of their harder games on the schedule. I think the Rams are going to smoke. Not smoke, but they're going to beat the Bucs next week, and everyone's going to hop on the bandwagon I've been on since the beginning of the season. But yeah, this game was just tough. I think the Rams did what they had to do to win. Stafford could be better, and it's just an early season road bump, which is funny because they won the game. I told y'all, I was telling everybody and their mother, take the Raiders +6 or +7 or whatever they were getting against the Steelers. The Steelers play up to competition. They beat the Bills. They always do that. But they play down the competition, specifically the Raiders. They always lose to the Raiders, and they always play down. They always look past them. It's always, the Raiders are like the boogeyman. They can't beat them. So, Raiders at Steelers, 26-17. I'm not shocked. I called it. I was calling it all week. I locked that in. I made money off that game because of that pick. I knew, I should have just taken the money line. I knew the Raiders were going to win that game. But, again, kind of like the 49ers, I want us to pump the brakes on the Raiders a little bit. They caught the Ravens early in the season with running back turmoil, and it was an overtime game. So I feel like if the Ravens were full health running back-wise, or even how they are now this week with their running backs, it would have been a different story. Also, Steelers, like I said, snake-bitten against the Raiders. I'm not going to overreact too much. I still think the Raiders are going to be the third best team in the division. No, I still think they're going to be the fourth best team in the division. Because the Chargers and the Broncos are really good. And the Chiefs are the Chiefs. Not saying that they're not a playoff team, because they were a playoff team last year too, just like a low-end one. They're probably like a mid-tier playoff team now. Just because they've improved. And I don't trust Gruden. I just want us to pump the brakes and let the Raiders beat another good opponent. Because banged up Ravens in the first week of the season, and the Steelers, who they always beat, I'm not overreacting to that. I'm gonna stay low. I'm gonna stay buying low on the Raiders until I'm forced to not, and that's not yet. Another one I was calling that everyone else was saying the Bengals were gonna win. The Bengals are gonna win. The Bengals are gonna win. We know the Bears have Khalil Mack, right, and Eddie Goldman, and Leonard Floyd. Not Leonard Floyd. Who's the other guy? Robert Quinn and Eddie Jackson. They have this solid defense outside their corners. And it was a revenge game for their quarterback. And the Bengals have shit pass protecting. And they couldn't even block the Vikings. You thought the Bears were going to come in and just get steamrolled by the Bengals? I knew they were going to sack the hell of Joe Burrow, and they did. How many sacks did they get? I know Joe Burrow's been sacked 9 times in 2 weeks. I just don't know how many were specifically from this Bears game, because I knew it. I knew it. If you go back and listen to the shitty-ass audio from the last week's episode, I said that in the pick, I'm taking the Bears because they can't block the Vikings. What do they think they can do to block the freaking Bears? Let's see, sacks. Teams. Here we go. Sacks. Sacks allowed. The Bengals allowed 5. 5 sacks. I mean, yes, the game was closer than I would have liked. The Bears are my NFC team. I'm going to be really upfront with that here. But, like, come on. You thought the Bengals were going to be block the Bears enough. And Justin Fields is the quarterback now. This Bears team, it just got way better. They let Andy Dalton come in, win his revenge game, and now they're handed over to the young guy. Injury, I guess, but that would have been, if you would have asked me when Justin Fields is going to start, I would have told you after they beat the Bengals. I think the Bears are a way better team than the Bengals, and they have a way better coach. Even though a lot of people don't like Matt Nagy, I like him more than Zach Taylor. Regardless, I think the Bears, everyone was sleeping on them for that game. It was kind of ridiculous. Browns beat the Texans by 10. Davis Mills comes in, doesn't look like Nathan Peterman. That was a terrible voice crack. God, that's staying in. But yeah, Browns, they are who they are. This showed me nothing. I knew that the Browns would whip them by like double digits. Texans scored some. They stayed in the game. But like I said, it's just they're like the Eagles. They're playing as a team, and they're going to be hard out. They're not going to win a lot of games, but they're not going to be like, embarrassed. It's not like the Dolphins a couple years ago when they were losing by like a point margin, like 90-something to 10. They're going to be in games. They're going to lose a lot of games, but they're going to be in some. They're going to be in most of those games. This is a shocker. I was high on the Panthers before the season started. I was super high on them. I said they would be the second in the division, even maybe push the Bucs for the first in the division. But after the Saints embarrassed the Packers in Lambeau, I thought this was a gimme. That like Jameis was the next, Jesus Christ for the Saints. But no, the Panthers came in, whooped them bad. And my crusade to tell everybody that Sam Darnold isn't a bad quarterback is getting stronger. And I like this Panthers defense. I knew they needed the last year was their rookie year. They were all young. They needed a year to get acclimated. Matt Rule, I said in hot takes last year, before last season, that Matt Rule, every time he comes to a program, whether it was Temple or Baylor, they had to go 1-11, 2-14, or 2-10, like Colin Baylor. The following season, Temple, Baylor, they had double-digit wins. Panthers came in, rough season. Now second season, now that everyone's in his system, and Joe Brady is still the coordinator, they're going to be double-digit win team. I should have just stuck with my guns on the Panthers on this one. I don't know why I chose the Saints. Because I know Matt Rule is a great coach. I know Joe Brady is a great coach. I know Sam Darnold can be a great quarterback. I know CMC is great. I know their offensive weapons are great. Their offensive line is a little shaky, but Saints pass rush isn't that crazy. Like they're relying on Peyton Turner mostly, and Cam Jordan. I'm surprised it was how big of a difference. I'm just saying, look out for the Panthers. Look out for the Panthers. I know Matt Rule is always good in the second year. I should have just stuck with my guns. I don't know why I'm sniffling all of a sudden. Wow, I think I just started dying from allergies. Vikings at Cardinals. I keep telling you, the Vikings are not good. Their quarterback limits their offense so badly. This wasn't even a game the Cardinals... Everyone's like, oh, the Cardinals this, Cardinals that. No, the Vikings are just bad. The fact that the Vikings put up 33 points on you, it's kind of sad. I know the Cardinals are struggling with DBs, but like, come on, Arizona. Don't let the Vikings do that to you. Don't let them cover. That's disgusting. Cardinals, play better. Like, I know you smacked the Titans around, but I was high on the Titans. And then you almost lost to the Vikings. I'm not high on the Vikings. Beat someone good, like the Rams or the Bucks, or a good AFC team, and come back to me. Go smack the Seahawks, and then come back to me. Bucks whooped the Falcons by 13 points. Falcons were in this one for a while. I got kind of scared. I chose the Bucks in my suicide pool, but Brady's gonna Brady. The Falcons are bad, you guys. And I'm gonna live stream a mock draft. I don't know if I'm gonna do it tonight. Kind of want to do it tonight, but like at the same time, I have to clean my desk off. And anyway, the point is, I think the Falcons need to go safety in this draft. There's two great ones early in the draft, and they're gonna be picking early in the draft. There's no quarterback really worthy of that pick, and they just need someone who can tackle in the back end or cover or both. It's horrible. The guys, like the Falcons, need to just retool the entire defense. The offense wasn't the problem, and now I need to figure out if Arthur Smith is not a good head coach and just a good coordinator like Todd Bowles, and why is his offense not performing if this offensive guru is supposed to come in and fix it, and the defense is just as bad as it ever was. So they basically fixed nothing. What is wrong with my nose? God, this is terrible listening. Stupid biology. Titans come back, beat the Seahawks in overtime. Really, Seattle? You were whooping on this team. They have bums at corner, maybe besides Caleb Farley. And they have Kevin Byard at safety. They have half a good secondary. And you were roasting them, and then what happened? You let King Henry in. I mean, shout out to my fantasy team. Thank you. But why? How did you... I had so much better expectations for you. Their offensive line is garbage, and you have Carlos Dunlap, and you have Poona Ford, and you have all these guys that you spent high picks on this pass rush, and you usually have a sometimes decent pass rush. Where's Jamal Adams? Where was the defense to stop the bleeding when they were coming back? Why did you take your foot off the gas? Seattle, get it together. Or I'm not going to be sad to say that you're the fourth best team in this division right now. Because you might just be. And I'm not even remotely kidding. Like, I don't even like the Cardinals that much, but, like, they're putting out a better show. They at least beat the Titans. Get better. What is that? Oh, my God. This game hurt me. This game hurt me a lot. 20 Cowboys, 17 Chargers. Chargers had 2 touchdowns called back by flags. The most penalized team in the NFL. This wasn't a Cowboys win. This was a Chargers loss. There's a difference. Anyone who says the Cowboys looked good in this game are wrong. They won because the Chargers lost this game for them. Cowboys have a lot of work to do. I think, personally, they're the second worst team in the division. Worse than the Giants, even. The Giants at least can field a decent defense. I mean, that decent defense went up and let Taylor Heineke put up 30 on them. So maybe Cowboys are second. But the Chargers are so much better than this, guys. They're better than the Raiders. They're better than the Broncos, probably. I don't know about that. Their quarterback's better. Put Justin Herbert on the Broncos, that's a Super Bowl team. I can't believe that people are just talking up the Raiders and the Chargers are getting slept on because they're getting to penalties. Brandon Staley has coached a great defense. The offense is still doing good with Justin Herbert under center. They just need to clean up their act, guys. I'm rooting for you. Win the AFC West. Fuck the Chiefs. And speaking of the Chiefs, 35-36 to the Ravens. We've discovered their weakness. We've discovered how to beat the Chiefs. And it's a weakness we've known since Patrick Mahomes has been the starting quarterback. Do you remember back 2 seasons ago when the Colts beat the Chiefs on Monday Night Football? With, I think it was even Jacoby Brissett as the quarterback. Or even before that. Before this Phillip Rivers year. They beat them by running the ball down their throat. And now the Chiefs have given up a crap ton of rushing yards to the Ravens. And they lost. And this week before that, the Browns, they rushed for over 200 yards on them as well. And they almost lost. If the Browns didn't choke that game, the Chiefs are 0-2. If you can get a good rushing attack against the Chiefs, you can win that game. And this just proves it. The Ravens aren't even that good this season. I'm not that high on the Ravens. But they can run the ball, and that's what you need to do to beat the Chiefs. Take the ball out of Mahomes' hands, keep it as long as you can, and just run the ball. That's how you beat them. They're going to score points. You need to score points while also running the ball. That's the gist of it. I can't say that any more clear. Hear me, Buffalo? You hear me, the Bills? Run the football. And then this is just a sad sack of Packers Lions. I thought I was going into halftime. I was like, oh, Jared Goff isn't terrible. Then the second half happened. I don't know if it's just because he has a ragtag. Their offensive line isn't even that bad, but they have no one catch the football. Quentin Cephas, good number 2 option. Amon-Ra St. Brown, probably good slot. He's a rookie. We don't really know much about him. Running backs, meh. DeAndre Swift needs to show more. But come on, Jared Goff had some great throws. I'm still on band. I like sticking with these disgraced high draft pick quarterbacks, like not Jeff Rosen, but like Sam Darnold and Carson Wentz and Jared Goff. And all these guys that got drafted super up high and they're going to a new team and they have potential of turning their careers around. I like it. I think Jared Goff, Sam Darnold getting slept on. The Lions are going to be a tough out. Same thing as Texans and Eagles. They're going to lose a lot of games, but they're going to be in a lot of games as well. But yeah, don't sleep with my boy Jared Goff. And now we're going to transition over to Bet Online again to get the spreads for this upcoming week, including the Thursday night game, which I did not do last week because I recorded it after the Thursday night game. I did not do good last week, but we're going to call that a one-off because I filmed it on my phone camera in the back room of my work and didn't really think about it all that much. And also, it was 9 minutes so long and I was rushing. So, clean slate here, and I'm going to have the Thursday night game in this one too. So this is a clean slate right here. Boom. This is where we're doing it from now on. Thursday night football. Panthers, Texans. Panthers are minus 7.5. I'm going to take the points. I'm going to say Houston Texans 7.5 is the good bet here. I think that, like I said, the Texans are going to be in games. Davis Mills has very little tape on him, like he had some tape against the Browns. Panthers are good, but I just think that 7.5 is a lot of points, and I think the Texans can maybe keep it within 6. I think it'll be like a 24-18 kind of game, or something 20-13, some sort of thing where the half point will cover it because it won't be more than 7 points of a victory. And now flipping into the opposite direction, Cardinals Jaguars. I'm going to take the minus 7.5 because the Jaguars defense is not good, and the Cardinals offense has been clicking heavily, like great. They've been amazing. So I doubt the Jags are going to be able to slow them down, especially if like the Vikings defense, which is bad too, but like better than the Jags defense, would be able to do it. And I think Trevor Lawrence is again working through the growing pains, just trying to figure out how to really pass on these teams and stuff like that, getting all of his mistakes out now and figure out what he can and can't get away with. So I'm going to say Cardinals win by probably double digits, 10, 12, 15, somewhere around there. Colts plus 5 against the Titans. Give me the Colts with Jacob Eason. I am not a Titans fan. Derrick Henry, great player. A.J. Brown, great player. Julio Jones, great player. But even if they win this game, which they most likely will, it's not going to be by a lot of points. I like the Colts offensive line better than the Titans. I like the Colts defense as a whole better than the Titans defense. It's going to be a low-scoring game, and I like the points here. God damn, I am stuffy. What has happened to me? Maybe it's because my room is like 9,000 degrees. Let's pop this AC on real quick. Get a drink. And I'm just going to stop you real quick, say hey. Check out our Instagram, our Twitter, our YouTube channel, over 100 subscribers now. Check out for a 100 subscriber special. Going to be opening up a Discord for the fans soon. Hopefully. Fans, I know I'm saying that like half the people aren't just people I know in person, but actually I don't know, because I only know I don't know that many people. 100 people is a lot of people. But I don't know. Maybe that's something you guys will be interested in. We're working it out with our team behind the scenes. Yes, I have a team. It's not just me. No matter how much it might seem like it. What else? What else do I need to plug? Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts. Find our shit somewhere. Okay. Ravens minus 8, Detroit plus 8. Give me... Lions just got embarrassed. But they also lost by more than 8. Give me the Ravens. They're riding high. I don't trust the Lions defense to stop the running game. I don't know, though, because they did a pretty good job stopping Aaron Jones. It was a passing that really got them in the second half. Fuck it. When in doubt, go with the points. Lions plus 8. Okay? Alright, I'm doing this with the spreads. I don't think the Lions are going to win, but they'll keep it within 8. Despite me thinking they'll keep it within the points against the Packers. But we can only hope. That is loud as hell. We're turning the back off. This obviously didn't help me. Apologies for Home Alone quality level air vent hissing at me. Can you stop? Calm yourself. Thank you. Anyway, back to me and you. Washington football team plus 7.5 against the Bills. I don't want to be a homer and say that the Bills will cover this. They're due for a bounce back game. Josh Allen's due for a bounce back game. They just give up a bunch of points to the Giants. Bills defense is playing phenomenally. But there's a lot of points. and they're a good defense. I'm going to just take the points. Washington football team plus 7.5. Prove me wrong. I want this one to be wrong. Those are going to win this, but come on, football team. Cover that points. Get like some garbage time points or whatever. Patriots -3 against the Saints. Patriots -3 against the Saints. They own bad quarterbacks who were mistake prone, and that's what Jameis is, regardless of what we thought after the first week. Take the over on this game. Over 42, I would take that. That's a pretty low over. I'd probably take that one. But yeah, Patriots -3. I'm not even gonna debate that one. The Saints looked awful last week against a much lesser defense in the not much, but like a lesser defense in Carolina. Even though they're pretty good, it's the Patriots we're talking about. This is the Patriots, and Mac Jones. He's just going to dice him up, short range stuff, and yeah, I just trust in Belichick. I trust. Chargers plus 6.5 against the Chiefs, -6.5. Chiefs. I think that the Chargers run game is not one of those elite run games that's going to be able to put up 200 yards rushing on the Chiefs. And the Chiefs are going to score points. Chargers are very mistake prone. Chiefs are very well coached. I'll take the Chiefs -6.5 because I think the Chargers are going to lose points like they did last time, and it's going to get run away. And I just think the Chiefs are much more well coached. Falcons +3 versus the Giants -3. Give me the Giants -3, baby. Giants looked good against Washington, and Washington's defense is, even though they're struggling so far this season, 7,000 times better than the Falcons. I want that all day. Giants I'm going to bet that right now while I'm talking on it. Nah, wait. Bears +7 versus Browns -7. Give me the Bears +7. Again, I like the Browns. Browns are my AFC Super Bowl pick. But the Bears with Justin Fields, he doesn't have a lot of film out there. And the Browns let the Texans hang around with them. And this is 7 points. Bears have a better defense. Bears have this new, young, dynamic quarterback that no one has seen any film of in a regular game situation. Give me the Bears. Give me the Bears with the points. I like that. You like that. Bengals +3 against the Steelers. Okay, no, get Steelers -3. Steelers early in the season. Remember this. Early in the season, they own the Bengals. The whole playing down the competition thing doesn't go for the Bengals. They pwn the Bengals early in the season. Later in the season, though, as we've seen last year, that might be different. But like I said, they're a good early team, and especially against the Bengals, they're good early in the season against them. Despite the Bengals having a good quarterback now. So, I mean, but Andy Dalton was good at one point, so there you go. Give me the Dolphins +4 here. Like I said, I'm lower on the Raiders, and I'm high in the Dolphins. Jacoby Brissett, I'm surprised the spread is so low on this one, but I thought the Dolphins would be getting more points. I think the Dolphins can cover this +4. Dolphins defense is going to shut down that Raiders offense, and the Raiders defense is going to be shown for the imposters that they are. They're going to be sussed out and launched out of the ship because the Dolphins defense is phenomenal, and their offense can do enough against a lesser defense like the Raiders to get a win out. I like that one. Give me the Jets +10.5 against the Broncos. That's a lot of points. The Jets have to get close in one of these games. They were close against the Panthers. And the Broncos, very conservative. Like I said, they're going to win by scoring between 17 and 24 points. And that means the Jets only have to score a garbage time touchdown to cover the spread. So I think it'll be like 17-7, 20 or 20-10, something like that, and this point spread will cover. Let's see. Bucks, Rams. Give me the Rams. Rams +1. They're getting the +1. Give me the Rams. They're my Super Bowl pick. I think they literally match up so perfectly against the Bucks. Like, great interior pass rush, which is what messes up Brady up because he likes to step up in the pocket and not roll out. Great large physical cornerbacks, and an offense that is explosive and that can target maybe the weakest spot on defense, which is their cornerbacks, and a decent offensive line to keep up with that pressure. So I think that the Rams are built and designed to beat the Tom Brady Buccaneers. Seahawks -2 against the Vikings. Give me the Seahawks. People are down on the Seahawks because they lost to the Titans. Vikings, I'm no. The Vikings there's no way the Vikings can win this game. Not a chance. They suck defensively against the pass recently in the past couple of seasons, especially this season so far in the past couple of games. Seahawks have one of the best passing offenses. Just go for the kill, Seattle. It hurts me when you don't do that and then you let teams like Tennessee back into the games and then you inflate Tennessee fans' egos and people who think Tennessee is good. It hurts me. Stop it. Give me... Wow, the Packers are underdogs? Give me the Packers underdogs, 3.5 right here. The Packers are underdogs against the 49ers. The 49ers barely beat the Eagles. They barely beat them. And everyone's on their cock. Wow, 3.5 point underdogs for the Packers. Give me the Packers. I know the 49ers historically have beaten them a lot, but like, Aaron Rodgers is going to be pissed. This is ridiculous. Wow, I am betting a big-ass card this week. Wow. Give me Cowboys -4 against the Eagles. Eagles they did good against the even worse Falcons. And then the 49ers played in... They're not... I think that the 49ers ship has sailed with Jimmy G, at least. That this team isn't as good as people think they are. But because they went to the Super Bowl with Jimmy G and mostly the same roster, and I know the coaching staff is phenomenal, I don't like it. I don't like it. So I think the Cowboys are just going to throw all over the Eagles. The Eagles' defense isn't as good as the people think they are. I think the 49ers' offense is just limited, and the Falcons suck. So give me the Cowboys -4. That's a little tougher one, though. And then... Oh, that was it. That's Monday night. So that's the last game. Yeah, this is going out this morning. I'm going to edit it together. I don't know if I'm just going to put a blank picture. I'm going to do, like, the highlight stuff, but we'll see when it comes out on YouTube anyway. The audio is just going straight up on Spotify and all the other places. But those are my picks, and I'm about to put some money down on these things because there's a lot of good spreads that I really like this week. So, and money lines in general. So, check out the rest of our podcasts. I have another one dropping this week. It's going to be my scouting notebook, I'm going to call it. It's just my overrated and underrated prospects so far in my scouting, I guess, so far. With you guys need to see who's on my underrated prospects because, oh my God, there's like 3 of them that some people are talking about, but 2 of them aren't even on people's boards. Like, people have like 500 players on boards. These guys, one place doesn't have the one receiver. No one has the linebacker. I am baffled. You need to check it out. That is one of my favorite things I've covered so far. I am preaching about said linebacker on Twitter. I am preaching about said linebacker on that episode. You will hear me talk about this linebacker that I talk about in this next upcoming podcast episode coming out probably Friday or Saturday morning until the draft happens. Or until this guy blows his knee out or does something bad. You will hear me talk about him. He is phenomenal. And is currently linebacker number 2 for me. And he's not on anybody else's board. So check that out later. And I'll talk to you guys later.